Hey YouTubers, so today we're going to be fixing, or trying to fix the tailgate. So the symptoms I've got is the lights are lit up but nothing happens when you press the button. If you do hold it, you do get a double beep somewhere. So I think the ECU is working, but there you go. But no motor power. Not sure if it's the motor itself or the control unit. So today I'm going to try and diagnose that and then decide what parts we're going to be buying. Okay, let's see how we go. Okay, to get to the ECU you need a few Torx bits. Let's start off with those. So the easiest thing to take out first is this center panel here, which is over there, and you can see there's one screw. It just goes right in the middle here, just under the lock. I'll show that later when I put it back. You've got to take off this side piece, which is these two screws here, and there's one screw hidden underneath the plate there. And then you've also got to take off that, or loosen at the very least, that cross plate. I'll just show you that. Where here you have to take out, you take these clips off first, which are the clips that sit on top of the tie downs. You take the tie downs out with the Torx 40 this time, and they go in there, and then this plate then lifts forward and you can lift this strip out. Okay, I'm trying not to have to take out the whole of the wheel well, but we'll see how we go. One other thing you have to do is take off this cover off the side. So there's this cover here, and the way that works, it's just got a couple of Torx 30s, 425s just on two little screws, just screwed through those holes. Okay, and finally, the last thing just to note, this rear panel, which is the slam panel for the tailgate, this is just clipped on with these 6 clips, sorry, and as mentioned before, that one bolt through the center, just over there. So just in this side panel here, there's a couple of pretty dark fir tree clips, one here, one here. If you pull those out, then as mentioned, you can just flip this strip up. If you're careful, you can see it's just designed to flip underneath the side panel there. So that gets the side panel nice and free, so when you pull it away, you're not stuck in that groove. Not really necessary, but just a bit easier to get that all apart. And lastly, I did forget, just around here in the cargo net, there is one more of the tie downs. Just need to get that off before I start to get the panel out. Okay, let's see how we go. Okay, just a few things to note before we pull it right out. So I've got it loose. You just start at the back here, it's probably easy. Just start pulling on these clips and things will start to come away. You do need to take off the power for the cigarette lighter and pull these clips out. As it comes away from the back, you'll see it starts to get loose at the front. It is easier. I did just lift this crossbar up with the felt that goes behind the seats. Always good to do all this and get the car really cleaned up. That exposes all of this foam. It's all quite interesting if you take all of this boot liner out, all the electronics and things you can see, and the air suspension on mine. But then at the front here, same thing, just pop it away with these clips. And the one thing you can do that does make life easier is down on the floor, it is easier if you pull out the tread strip. So this is the rear door tread strip sitting in like that. Just start at the front, lift that up, and just note there's a clip there that clips up underneath, and that goes underneath this front edge here of the liner. Okay, so I think we've got everything. We can lift it out now. See if I can just do that one-handed. There we go. And it's out. Needs a bit of a clean, but that was where we were trying to get to. And now that's out, put it down there. And one-handed, you can see what we're looking for. So in mine, in this spec, we've got quite a few ECUs. There's some kind of secondary solenoid for the auxiliary battery. There's another ECU in the back here. I think that's the rear SAM control unit. We've got a lot of things like some pretty heavy duty battery cables going up the front. And then we've got what I've put in, which is the tailgate, sorry, the tow bar light controller, just on the side here. That's the cigarette lighter, that's the fuse for the feed for the tow bar. And then this is one of the air tanks, the other one's under the floor, up under the front there. Okay, and here's the ECU that we're going to take out, and or at least try and probe and test and see if we can work out what's happening with this tailgate motor. So just looking at the ECU inside, what I was looking for was any burned tracks, any obvious damage of any of the micros. We've got a couple of relays, a few capacitors, clear some filters on the inputs and outputs. I think there's nothing looking too wrong on there. Got a few transistors and a couple of power drivers on the back, a few caps, but clearly no burn terminals, no water ingress, no burn tracks. Just looking at the version of that software. So this one's from 2009 on the board, Delphi unit. Could replace it, but my suspicion after looking at that, it looks in such good condition, my suspicion would definitely be that we're looking at something in the motor. So let's see how we go. Okay, the next thing you want to take off is this side plate near the lights. And this comes off, if we can just jam it back there, it's going to sit. This comes off with these little plugs, so you pull the plastic plug out of the center and then pull the rubber plug out of this hole and this hole. And then you might have to lift up the door seal, because you can see it's just clipped over that, and that exposes the cable. And then the next bit, there's a little cap, sits on top of the bottom of the strut, that comes out this way, and if you lift on this wire, not sure exactly how that's working, then you'll see that the motor comes free. So you should be able to get the motor out next, and I'm going to decide whether I pull the motor apart or just try and test the terminals as the power goes from the controller. We'll see how we go. Okay, so we've got the battery power here wired up to the power terminals of the motor, so one on positive, one on negative, and have a look at this. Doesn't seem too much wrong with the motor, so now we have to have a think. Okay, so just moving my attention to the tailgate, just want to check a few things there. So this is the, sorry, let me just show you. This is the stop and lock switch. So just looking inside there, it's a bit like a old school remote control. A couple of touch pads, and what we've got going on there is the left hand pin is ground. It goes to the LEDs and to the one side of the pads. The middle pin is the left hand pads in this configuration, so both of them are connected together and they jump over and go to the middle pin through that one resistor at the bottom there. And then the right hand pin is the right hand switch. So if you press on that, it goes down. I don't know if you can quite see that. So it goes down from the top pad and the bottom pad across underneath the resistor, sorry, the diode, the LED, down through one resistor into the middle pin. So middle pin is sensing, right hand pin is LED power. It seems just continuous on both LEDs with the resistor between the LED and ground. I'm not sure if there's anything to do with switching there, and then out. But looking at that, nothing wrong with that, all really clean. Okay, so that's about it for the diagnostics that I can do at the moment. You should have seen those last videos that we got the strut to work and we looked through some of the switches. Sorry, some of the videos cut off, so it wasn't ideal, but I've got that all back together now and ready for the next step. Thanks for watching.